And how's it going, guys? In this video, I am going to make kind of a updated movement guide on how to make your movement look better and look more clean, and overall just get better like momentum in your games and win more of your fights. This is a kind of a part 2 to the first video I made on my channel. You can find it in my videos. It should be listed as something like movement guide for Apex or something. And I would very recommend that you watch that one before you watch this one, where this is gonna be more like a advanced, where like if you have all of that, you can combine it and use it to do these things that I'm gonna show in this video. So yeah, I say we just get started. So the first thing I want to show you guys is kind of like it's an old thing, but it's a new thing. It's like it has been discovered, but I don't feel like a lot of like mid to new players know this thing and use this thing like in their games, and especially like when they fight. It's called fatigue jumping, and fatigue jumping is where you basically use the force that pushes you down on the ground, also called gravity. You use the gravity to kind of like get momentum upwards. And basically what fatigue jumping is where you look how like you jump really high, like you can almost jump over this wall, but that's only the first jump. The next jumps are called fatigue jumps, and right now I'm in fatigue phase, and you see like I have this like way where I can just keep jumping and I'm not jumping that high. So yeah, what you do here is you then go up to a wall. You can stand literally right next to it. The difference between like fatigue jumping and wall jumping is you have to get speed to make a wall jump, where like a fatigue jump, you can literally just like stand right here in front of the wall, jump, get fatigue, and yeah, and hit a fatigue jump. And in a fight, it would look something like this. So you can like, you can kind of like use it as like a way of like kind of like mess up your opponent's aim a little bit, and kind of like trick them into thinking that you're jumping, but you're actually jumping like twice as high. So yeah, and the basic mechanics are basic, just that you make yourself get fatigue, and then when I jump and I like kind of like try to hang on to the wall by pressing W, but at the same time I press scroll wheel down to jump. By the way, if you don't know my the binds I'm using, you can take this and just pause it whenever I scroll through. But yeah, that's my keybinds, and I would very recommend to add your jump to both space and your scroll wheel down. So yeah, I'm also kind of expecting you guys to have these keybinds. So if you don't have them, what are you doing? Like, get lost. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about now is something called wall running. And wall running, I believe I actually talked about in the part 1, but you can do something a little bit more like tricky, I would say, for wall running, where you can wall run into a 180 and then you Tapstrafe. So you Tapstrafe for the 180, and it looks something like this. So yeah, basically what you do is you make it just like you make a normal wall jump, where you run up to the wall, crouch slide, and you hold D, and you look to the left, and then you jump, But then what you then do is you run up to it and you Tapstrafe. And then you Tapstrafe around when you jump off of it. So what you do is you run, crouch jump, wall run, jump with scroll wheel down, and then you Tapstrafe on your mouse wheel up. And then you just kind of make a curve with your, like, you don't want to make like a really fast curve, you want to make like a slow curve, because then the engine kind of like can register your turning a little bit better. So you wall run, and then you turn around. It's pretty nice. You can do this, like, I have done this a lot, where you know, I run, and I turn around a wall, and as soon as I hear the enemy come, like, right here, I jump, and I make a 180, and I pump them, and then I start using the fatigue jump that we talked about before. So like I jump, and then I do like that, and I shoot them. So yeah. Then there's this thing called peak jump. It's where you hang on to the wall, like this. You see how I'm climbing right now? Like in my climbing animation. And I can keep holding on for like a very long time. In that time, you can kind of like you can get a little jump if you hit W and just run like straight, like really close to the wall. You make like a small wall jump. You can make those by just doing that. And like the more time you spend on the wall, up momentum you get. Yeah. Then on to the next thing is called Supergliding. And Supergliding is kind of like a trade-off, or like a statement for like whole Apex movement. You see this from a lot of people, but actually, like if you look in third person, Supergliding is not really that fast. It just looks fast for your perspective. So it's kind of like, it's kind of easy to track you down. So if you just do a normal, Superglide, you're gonna end up getting beamed pretty hard. And a Superglide looks something like this. So this is like a normal Superglide, where I just turn like a little bit to the right, because, you know, I press D. But yeah. So basically, what you have to do is you have to get used to like crawling up something and then crouch sliding. And this timing where you crouch slide is the exact same timing you have to press space. So you just kind of combined crouch and space, but you hit space before you hit crouch. And that's very important, because if you hit crouch and hit space, it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna make like a small jump. You see here? Like, you make a small jump. That's better than doing this. Because if you do this, and you kind of like jump and you just fail like that, you're gonna be crouching, and you're gonna be a really easy target. So I would not recommend pressing crouch and space. Some people like to have on C, have crouch on C. I have it for like toggle crouch, and some people can do like, you know, super gliding by just using that button and this space. I have pretty big hands, so I kind of can't like hit this button and space at the same time. But basically, like, the higher frames you have, also the harder it's gonna get for you to super glide. So basically what you can do here is you go like this, and then you can Tapstrafe into a super glide. This is where like the kind of advanced stuff come. And you can, like, if you super glide, you can use Tapstrafing to get like kind of an edge. And if you have Octane, I believe you can do a 180, which looks something like this. So like that. And basically what I do there is I press, as soon as I hit the super glide, I press the keys W, A, S, D. So I strafe, and I make like a normal neo strafe, where you just go like this in a circle. And I do that as soon as I finish my super glide. So like that. And if you combine that with Tapstrafing around while turning, it looks something like this. like this, and then you can, you know, shoot people in the head. So yeah, and then like for you to do that, you have to like hit the Superglide, and then the 180 while you tap strafe around. Well, while you tap strafe and look around the direction you want to go. And of course, vice versa, it's the same the other way around. So if you want to tap strafe this way around, you just hit WDSA. And I remember as soon as I start super gliding in the air, I let go of W and I press the other buttons. So yeah. Now on to the like kind of next thing that I don't see a lot of people do, which is tap strafing while being on a jump pad. Jump pads are not only one way. You can go one way and then change direction mid-air. You just have to tap strafe. But what I don't see a lot of people do is actually running up to a jump pad and using the momentum from the first jump to get like a second jump. And it's kind of easy once you learn it. As soon as your crosshair hits like right over here, I crouch, and then I just go down, like I crouch slide into it, and as soon as I am hitting it, I am scroll wheeling down to jump, and then I'm tap strafing and looking like in a smooth direction around, and it looks kind of like this. So yeah. The next thing I want to show you guys is... What's this super jump, you might ask? Super jump is when you press E to ride the zipline, and then you scroll wheel down 2 times. And it has to be 2. If it's 3, I think it's gonna work still, but it's two jumps really fast after each other makes a super jump, and you can clearly see a difference. This is a normal jump on a zipline, and this is super jump. You can see there's much more curve and there's much more like height to it. Yeah, and it's fairly easy. Mantle jumping, and what mantle jumping is essentially you're mantling on a ledge. I can show you here. So this right here, the state is called mantle, and when you mantle, you're basically looking over the ledge with your like head and just peeking over. The thing about mantle jumping is when you're in this state, you actually have ground connection. You're actually holding on to the ground. That means you can get what's called a super jump. So what a mantle jump? Mantling on a ledge and like looking over it, you have ground contact. You have to have ground contact to actually do a super jump. Else you're just not gonna do a super jump. So what you can do is like this. You can go up the zipline and then you go mantle like this, and you have to be like trained first and foremost. Try to just go up the zipline, hit the mantle like this when you go like this, and then what I found, I'm gonna link in this description like a bit like the way I learned it, so you guys can see how like I think about mantle jumping. I might be wrong, but basically you hit the mantle on the ledge. So you hit the mantle immediately. You don't want to be climbing. You want to be hitting the mantle like immediately, like this. So you hit it, and then you want to kind of like press S, but like E at the same time. I found out that actually pressing E a little bit sooner than pressing S works better for me, because at least then I make like this, where it's like a half super jump, and I actually jump up. Instead of making like a weird one where you just bounce where you just bounce like this and go down the zipline again. It's kind of awkward to do that. You can also get these like middle jumps, which are not like mantle jumping. I will show a mantle jump now. That is how you mantle jump and make like a real mantle jump. And you can see the difference between like this one, where you just do like a normal mantle jump. This is just where you make a zipline jump from a mantle, and this is not the right way. You're gonna get, yeah, shot out of ground. What you also have to be careful is in the streamer buildings. There's like a roof on the zipline, so obviously if you go like this, you're gonna hit your head and you're gonna just bounce into the ground. What are the odds I get an internet connection lost? Well, I'm fucking, bro, what the f? So on the list now we have like some of the more advanced stuff where like we talk like double advanced, we could say. So one of the things is delayed wall jumping, and what basically is you run up the wall, and when you run up you jump onto the wall. It's not a fatigue jump, it's more like a fast no run up to wall jump. And you basically have to hit it where like in between the peak of your jump, so you don't get bounced into the ground like I'm doing now. You instead want to do like this, so you jump and you get like a little bit of down momentum like that. Especially crouch gliding before you do it can also help, like a ton. Like this. And all I'm doing is just pressing W into the wall like this, and then jumping whenever I hit the wall. Yeah. Next thing is I think it's called Rio strafing. It's from like a streamer. And what it is basically you can peek on a wall by jumping around it and going back in again. And it's kind of crazy because you can like shoot and you can like get away really fast. It looks super ridiculous from the enemy's perspective. But what it is basically so the fundamentals is you do one direction, and then you strafe when you jump, because every time you jump there's like a small window where you can make like movements the direction you're pressing, like this. So you can jump and you can combine that, so you can go like this. And if you use tap strafing into it, you can get like some really deep and steep like tap strafe. And what you can do is you can combine that thing with wall jumping and make it so you can peek with it, and it looks something like this. So basically you run up, you wall jump, and then you press S and A, because you don't want any forward momentum into the wall. If you do some forward momentum, you're just gonna be lost out in the open, and you're not gonna actually strafe in again. So like this, and then like into the wall, and then tap strafe and press S and A, and then of course you can shoot in between. So it looks something like this. You can also do it on these walls. So you make a wall jump and you just tap strafe SD. Like that. So yeah. I think you can also do wall jump into climbing, and like it should look something like this, where you double jump, double wall jump. So basically you hit the wall and you start climbing. You start wall running, and then when you when you are about to hit the ground, you jump off and Tapstrafe into the wall again and do another wall bounce, basically. And you can like keep on doing that, especially if you're relevant, then you can keep on doing it forever. Yeah, and as always, if there's like a place where it's like a rounded corner, you can always climb it, and then you can like go around it. As long as you hold W, you can make like a 180 around something. A good practice is maybe like going like this, and then like around it again, and then jump off with like a wall jump. Like this. Guys, I don't know, like, I don't think I have anything more to say. There's probably gonna be like other movement ticks that I haven't like really like shown you guys. But all of those are gonna be linked in the description. I'm gonna link like YouTube videos to where I have learned my like advanced movement stuff. And yeah. Else then, I stream on Twitch like almost every day if I can. Mostly in like the nights and the evenings. So yeah, I stream on Twitch, Twitch TV/right. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye.